Hey, come on in. I've been waiting for you. Everything's ready. The coffee's hot and the cookies are ready. We're going to have a really good time. I've been missing you lately. And seems like summer gets so full of so many things. Oh, sometimes I think about the good old days when we could just sit out on the porch and visit. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, welcome. Come on in. We'll have a good time. I have been thinking about something, and they tell about a couple that were in a car, and they were driving somewhere, and the husband said, "We're going to go to town, and we'll have a nice time." And she said, "Why don't we sit close like we used to?" And he said to her, "Who moved?"
Oh,
And who moved?
yeah.
So, anyway, that's a good thing to think about when it comes to our relationship with God. Do you feel far away from God sometimes? Do you think He doesn't hear your prayers? And you've been praying and praying about something, and it seems like God is so far away. Remember, we choose our own direction. So, drawing near requires two actions. You need to draw near to God. And He says, if you do, I will draw near to you. You make the first move. I haven't moved. I've always been where I've been. It's you that moved. So the first one is cleanse your hands. I remember when my grandchildren were little, just tiny little guys, and we'd get ready for lunch, and I'd say, "We gotta wash your hands." And so we'd wash the hands, and the whole time we washed the hands, I would say, "A clean heart and pure hands." That's what God likes. Clean heart, pure hands. So that's one thing they learned from the time they were just a couple years old. So the first thing to do is to cleanse your hands. I'm not going to read the scripture, but if you want to look up Isaiah 1:15, sometimes it tells about cleansing your hands. And then in that case, they were full of blood. What are your hands full of? What have you exchanged? Your relationship with God. What are you holding that you're not going to let go? What do you have in your hands? Sometimes people say, "My hands are full. My schedule is crammed. I don't have time. I don't have time to go to church on Sunday." But He says, cleanse your hands. And I'm thinking, have you gotten involved with something you shouldn't? Cleanse your hands. And the way to do that is to ask God to do it. You can't do it yourself. Say, cleanse my hands. I have gotten involved in something that I shouldn't, and I want to be clean. Even now, at my age, I find myself saying, cleanse me, oh Lord, cleanse me. And if I have hurt anybody, I want to be clean. I want to have clean hands and a pure heart. So ask Him to cleanse your hands. And this is another question of God. Has social media taken the place for time with God in prayer and with reading His Word? Now, I understand you can read the Word on social media. You can read the Word on your phone. I do understand that. But are you doing it? Are you taking the time to read the Word? Or are you constantly checking Facebook, constantly checking Twitter, constantly checking what are my friends doing? What are they eating for dinner? Are you doing that? How about taking some extra time to read His Word? And I like to do that at night. Sometimes I read a good devotional at night. I like to go to sleep after having read something that's inspirational. And I want to say, Lord, cleanse me, purify me, take away desires that I shouldn't have. I don't want to be holding on to things that aren't pleasing to you. This might sting, but how about your relationships? Do you have friends that you're hanging on to that aren't good for you? Cleanse your hands. If you feel God is far away, it's up to you to move close to Him. So think about it. Maybe you have to let somebody go. You've been hanging on, and you've probably been having a relationship with somebody for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and you think, one of these days he'll pop the question. No, it hasn't happened. Maybe you need to drop that hand and move on. I know somebody, he had a girlfriend for 15 years. And we would say, Arthur, aren't you going to get married? He'd say, I don't know her well enough. He never did. He died a bachelor. She died an old maid. Think about that. If God seems distant, cleanse your hands, purify your heart. And I want to end this by telling you about the verse in Revelation 3:20. You know it by heart, but it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone opens the door, I will come in, and I will eat with him, and he with me. Jesus wants a relationship. He stands at the door. He's knocking. And you know what? You have to open the door. There's no knob on the other side. You make the decision. You draw close to him. You say, come on in. Come on in. I want to have a relationship with you. You can get close to God. It only takes a minute. All you have to do is say, God, I want to be close again. I want a relationship to be like it used to be. I want a relationship to be right. I want a relationship to be this way when I couldn't bear. Oh, I remember years and years ago, my husband and I were having a relationship, but it was mostly by mail, and I couldn't wait for those letters. He wrote every day, and I couldn't wait to see that envelope. I wanted to see what he had to say. I didn't pile them up for a week or two. Oh, no. I read every day. Yeah. So that's what you need to have a relationship with Jesus. Open his book. Open his letter. Read and draw close to him. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants you to move close to him. He wants to be your best friend. He wants to be your guide. He wants you to love him as he loves you. Then you can love other people. So the thing is, clean hands and a pure heart. Move close to the Lord. He's waiting for you.